I'm going to call the July 15th, 2021 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting to order. Commissioner Koger, would you lead us in a prayer and a pledge?
I will. Let me pray. Lord, we praise and thank you for all your blessings. Please continue to guide the members of this body in your willful direction. Lord, remind us that it is you we truly serve when serving the citizens of this community. We praise you for entrusting us to lead our county. Pray for our firemen, policemen, military, and first responders to always be safe. All this we pray through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And once again, I want to welcome everyone to our July 15th, 2021 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Item 1, consideration for presentation. A, proclaim July 16th through 24, 2021 as Dust Bowl Week in Daviess County, Kentucky.
If I can't find my glasses to read this, I can't proclaim anything. Okay. Whereas this summer, the Dust Bowl was hosting its 48th annual outdoor basketball tournament in Owensboro and Daviess County, and whereas year after year, this historic event displays our region's talent and some not so talented, I don't know why they put that in there, basketball players for all-around good-spirited and tremendously competitive expression of the game. And whereas the Dust Bowl held at Kendall Perkins Park always delights visitors and players with a wide array of food vendors who never fail to delight the taste buds. And now, therefore, I, Daviess County Judge Executive Al Mattingly, do hereby proclaim July 16th through the 24th, 2021 as Dust Bowl Basketball Tournament Week in Daviess County, Kentucky, and urge all citizens to get out and take part in this historic week of basketball. I think we have somebody here to accept this. Yeah, come on up. Guys, let's go out here and we'll just get a picture taken with him. And then I want you to give us just a brief, not a Sheriff Keith Kane conversation about this. There we go. Come on, guys. And you go to take a picture. There we go. What's going to go on, and you know, not last year, I keep saying last year, the last time it was held, I got to go down and do a little proclamation down there, which was pretty cool.
Thank you. Judge Davless, Commissioner Koger, Watson, yes. On behalf of the Fiscal Basketball Tournament Committee, I want to thank Daviess County for this proclamation claiming the Dust Bowl Week. We are very excited after a year layoff due to the pandemic last year. We changed some things up this year, and so we're very excited. We begin on Sunday, the 18th, with a gospel praise program in the park. Begins at 7 p.m. Kendall Perkins Park, located on West 5th Street between Maple and Archer. Our basketball tournament begins on Wednesday the 21st and goes through Saturday the 24th. Also on Wednesday the 21st, we have what we call Kids Day. Everything's free for the kids from 6 to 8. And we'd like to invite all the citizens of Daviess County out to the Dust Bowl. Maybe you haven't been before. It's a unique experience. So I would like to again, thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for the long time effort that you put into this. This is actually a labor of love for your heart.
It's coming to an
And you know, it really puts that community of Baptist Town on the map. Because when I go out throughout the state, a lot of people, I know last year I heard of, are you all gonna have the Dust Bowl? I'm going, not this year, but next. So thank you very much and good luck. Hope you have very good weather.
Thank you.
Okay, commissioners, any of you?
Byron, you said it's coming to an end. You got somebody lined up to replace you, or is that somebody that stepped forward and do?
Not yet, we're looking for that person.
Gotcha.
Byron, so it is coming to an end, just like my term as judge executive. We're gonna retire together, Bubba.
We'll do something else.
We'll do something together. We'll both get in trouble, I guarantee you. All right, thank you very much. Next item, Jenny.
Item 2, consideration for approval, A, Davis County Sheriff's 2020 tax settlement and Quietus.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. I guess you want to talk a little bit about what Keith is going to talk to us about?
Sure, Judge. We have received a copy of the Quietus. Treasurer Hendricks and I have reviewed the data. It is consistent with our records. None of the other taxing districts have made me aware of any issues with their figures, so I have no issues to report.
And the definition of quietus is
Keith Kane can tell you.
final settlement of debt. Thank you. Sheriff, welcome. It's nice to see you in person behind that podium again.
Judge and Commissioners, I appreciate being here. Before I get started with our Quietus, I just want to offer my thank you and appreciation to our community. I know he's gracious enough to allow our officers to come out and participate in that. It's good for our officers and it's good for the communities.
Byron, I assume in that when we said not so talented, you were referring to Keith's deputies?
Well, I will say that I did play basketball in high school, but I think I was the only person that managed to trip over the line and painted on the floor. Definitely was not my call. We are here to settle the tax Quietus for the 2020 tax year. And in doing so, we ask for the approval of the 2020 tax collection settlements from regular revenue, bank shares, oil, distilled spirits, LSD, that's lime, sand, gravel, public service, and telecommunications. Again, in support of that, I'll offer you these statistics. There was a total combined tax certification as the bills were set out of $69,821,873.62. Of those, the total combined collections was $66,965,554.92, which gave us a collection percentage of 99.6%, which, of course, as you're well aware, we're always above that 99.5, which puts us in the upper percentile of the Commonwealth each year. We turned over 719 delinquent bills to the county clerk. All those monies have been dispersed according to the tax lien districts, and we are respectfully requesting the tax settlement be approved as printed and has been delivered to you. And if you have any questions, I brought Ms. Shelley with me.
Sheriff, no questions. You do have one of the finest collection rates that in the Commonwealth. I know I serve on some other boards, and when they talk about, they always put like a 4% non-collection. I raised my hand. I said that's false. That's never happened in your lifetime. Secondly, I want the folks who are watching to understand that that $69,800,000 you collected didn't go to Daviess County Fiscal Court. Or the Sheriff's Department. A mere probably 12% came to fiscal court of that money. The vast majority went to Daviess County Public Schools, to the Daviess County Library, to the Extension District, and to the Green River Health, or Daviess County Health Department. So the vast majority of that money went elsewhere. The collection rate that you get paid is pitiful. I've advocated for it to be raised. You and I both have talked Joe blue in the face, and we need it raised. But overall, I know Shelley does a fine job for you.
Her staff make us look good. Sometimes that's not really easy.
Well, knowing some of the deputies you got now, this one back here in the back is accepted. But you guys do a fine job, and we really appreciate it. Commissioners, any question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Sheriff. You and Shelley don't need to stay.
B, minutes of the July 1st.
Wait a minute. I was kidding, Shelley. You sure jumped on that really fast. Yeah, Byron wants to stay and see how this thing works, I know. All right, next one, Jenny.
B, minutes of the July 1st and 7th, 2021 Davis County Fiscal Court meetings.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioner, you've all had a copy of the minutes in your possession for some time. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
C, all claims for all departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Again, Commissioners, you all had a copy of the bills due and payable by Davis County Fiscal Court in your possession for some time. Do you have any questions, and I hope you do, of the Assistant Treasurer at this time? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
D, Parks Special Event Rental Agreement with the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum for the River of Music Party ROMP 2021 Festival.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. I'm thinking that you, Jordan, okay?
Yes, Judge, this agreement is between Davis County Fiscal Court and the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum for the use of Yellow Creek Park to host the 2021 ROMP event, which will be held September 15th through 19th of this year. The agreement details requirements of both parties, including security, which will be provided by the Davis County Sheriff's Office. The only change
Battery's gone.
response plan that was modified by our EMA Director, Andy Ball. Legal staff, Parks Administration, and I have reviewed it. It is in order, and I would recommend approval.
Commissioners, as you're aware, because of the pandemic last year, the ROMP officials, Bluegrass Museum, came and asked that we support them by covering the cost of security, which we did. The only other, I think there is some conversation about the ROMP organization providing some folks for sanitation. Jordan, I'm not sure that that's in there, but we've been talking about it. May not be in there, it's just kind of an informal agreement because of parks attendants having to have them out there all the time. It's tough, so there may be that, but it doesn't have to be an agreement. So, any other question or comment? You having trouble? Okay. If there are no other comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. It's nice to have this festival back in our county this year.
It is.
Next item, Jenny.
E, apply for the 2021 Kentucky Department of Agriculture's 2021 Spay Neuter Grant.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Smith.
Yes, this is an annual grant that we seek each year. It helps allow us to do low-cost spays and neuters. This is run by the state of Kentucky. It is a matching grant, and this year the state increased the amount from $2,500 grant to a $3,000 grant.
Questions or comments? This is low cost, right? Low cost spay neuter.
Correct. This helps subsidize.
All subsidized, yeah.
Yes.
All righty. Any questions or comments? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
F, MOA with the City of Owensboro regarding Juvenile Drug Court Funding.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Claude, do you want to talk about it? I can. This is, yeah, well. This is actually an agreement that we put together between county and the city, what? 2012? Yeah, it's when we came here. I think the state stopped providing the funding, and we said, why in the world do you, I mean, the best bang for the buck is for kids, for juveniles to get them early. And so the city and county each agreed to provide $70,000 for this program on a yearly basis. And this is just a renewal of that agreement. And Claude, you might give us a 30,000-foot view on who is involved, your staff, and what the money is being used for.
Judge Miller, we have a director, we have someone from schools and other providers, including the equine therapy process, the horse, we call it horse therapy.
Yeah.
It's the barn. We We've run over the last 15 years, we've interviewed or assessed about 750 kids, about 300 of those, 350 of those were ones we accepted in the program, so around 200 of those have graduated. Their families are all involved in that. So it has been I will say a miracle, but it has been a wonderful opportunity for a lot of kids to get rid of their public offenses. And families to learn that. And we've had, I cannot tell you exactly what numbers we've had about people who have come back in, not back in our program, but back into drugs at all, but there have been a number of those who have succeeded.
Right. Well, the key to that program, I think, is it's a family program. It's not just the young person, the offender, but typically when they're using drugs, there is an underlying reason they are, and I mean, it's a family affair. I know that I think all of you probably at one time or another attended a graduation, and it's just, it always amazes me, not just with the kids, but like ORR, when they have their reunion day, and when we have graduates, it's just amazing how grateful those folks are that somebody stepped up and intervened and helped them. Commissioner?
Well, it's a life changer for
It
them, and oftentimes for the families as well.
It absolutely is. Yep. Yes, sir. Commissioners, any other question or comment? And I think the city passed this at their last meeting. Yep. Okay, if there's no other comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, Jenny.
G, amended memorandum of agreement with Hollison LLC.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Smith?
Yes, as you all probably recall, back in 2015, the court signed a agreement, an incentive agreement with Hollison. It involved a portion that was a grant and a portion that was a loan. Judge, you received a letter back late last month requesting an extension, primarily due to COVID impacting their business. So this extension takes it to a 10-year term so that the loan must be paid back, and if they do not hit the required 34 employees, they will then owe us also part of the grant. And it extends that out to a 10-year term, which we also have with another at least one other company, which makes it due then in September 2025. That's the only change to the document, is changing the date of when the final payment's due.
Question or comment?
Judge?
Commissioner Koger, I
Yes.
think you're going to recuse yourself on this.
Yes.
Okay. Any other comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Jenny, next item.
H, service agreement with Gardner Engineering Consulting, PLLC, to assess the structural condition of the Panther Creek Park Fire Tower.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, as you're aware, several months ago, County Engineer Brasher brought us a concern about the safety of the fire tower. There had also been a lot of vandalism, so we closed it out of an abundance of caution and prudence. You know, I bet you that the folks down in Miami wish that they had taken action on that building that collapsed we don't want that to happen here in Daviess County. That's why we are signing a contract with a structural engineer, someone who is a professional in structural engineering, to make sure that this is safe. Or if it's not safe, tell us what repairs are needed. Can we repair it? It very well may be it's just is fenced off and nobody goes up it and it stays there. And I think Commissioner Watson, you and I have talked about that, as opposed to taking it down, at least leave it in place. We won't know anything until the structural engineer sends a report to county engineer with a recommendation. Any questions, comments?
The question he's answering is whether or not we should let people go up and down.
That's correct. That is
Not
correct.
whether we should take it down.
No, that's correct. Is it safe for humans to be up and down and around and doing all that? So, The question that the question of whether we take it down, that'll be up to us.
Yep.
Based on the information and data that he gathers, so. All right, no other question or comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
IPR 5632, lease agreement modification for KYTC leased premises.
Motion approved.
Second?
Let's see, that's Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge, this lease modification is to extend the currently leased space by KYTC at the Operations Center to include 2 additional offices, which will add 371 square feet to the existing lease, which results in an additional annual rent of $5,171.72. We anticipate the painting and carpeting costs to meet their finishing requirements to be approximately $4,000. These offices will be used to accommodate state police staff to administer driver's testing for licensing. Space is currently unused by the county. The finishing costs will be recouped within the first year. The county engineer reports no issues. I would recommend approval.
Jordan, what is the chances that when this lease is completed and paid out, KYTC will come back and insist on cutting it down to next to nothing like AOC?
Low.
I mean, they're paying us $13.93 per square foot, and AOC is paying us $1.88. I didn't want you to answer that. I was just seeing your reaction. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Okay.
I was out there the other day and I forgot to look. Are these 2 offices inside of that area that they've already renting from us? Or is it
No.
outside?
The outside, just
So are
as
they
you...
gonna have to modify that door?
Yes, we'll have to replace carpet and paint it to match their currently leased space, but it's the 2 offices just inside the entrance to the right.
Are we modifying it?
We are.
Okay.
If you recall, Carla, that was her office, and then Mark's office, those are the 2, I think.
Oh, is that the 2?
Yeah, those are the 2, and there's no need for them to be secure because they're not doing real ID or that kind of thing. They don't have, And I figure if that state cop with a pistol on his hip needs to be secure behind a door, we got problems.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
How many years lease is this good for?
I will get back with you on that.
Oh, that's fine.
I think it's good for the same amount of time that the original lease was for, which was a 10-year lease.
Yes, I'll send you a copy of the prime lease.
No, it's fine. I just,
Right.
a lot of times there is a time on that. I know I lease some to the state. Mine's about 8 years. Every 8 years you renew. I didn't know if that's the same scenario as this or not.
It was a modification of the existing lease, so the time frame is the same, it's
Okay.
only modifying the amount and the square footage. And that's why we were able to move so fast on it. It's not a new lease, and they didn't have to go through all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
J, lease agreement with Hurricane Marina LLC.
Move to approve?
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, as you are aware, we bought a little Hurricane boat ramp and about 20 acres from the federal government, 7 years ago? And we were always looking to improve it. A couple years ago, we were approached about a lease where these folks, we would lease it to them. They would take care of the property, which they have done. They mowed it and done all those. They were going to put a boat dock in and some other amenities. Unfortunately, they didn't believe that the Corps of Engineers had the sting that the Corps of Engineers has, and they were stopped. They didn't have all their paperwork. Sherry, can you tell me, do they have their paperwork now? Do we have? So we have our permit, all the permitting. I guess my question is, Engineer Brasher looked at it and he's okay? Okay. Who did? Called?
I looked at the lease, yes.
Okay, you looked at the lease.
I've seen the couple of the documents that they provided us,
Okay.
which does indicate that they have complied with the terms which Corps of Engineers required them to
Right.
complete.
Right, I think they signed a consent decree with the Corps that they would stop. And I want to just explain to anybody that's listening and watching, Daviess County Fiscal Court didn't stop them, slow them, move them, or do anything. It was their own intractability in dealing with the Corps and the Division of Water that caused this slowdown. So, and not only that, they had to get a conditional use permit from OMPC, and have they done that yet?
I thought I saw the application.
Okay. Okay, and once I approve the lease, and we as Daviess County Fiscal Court have to sign off on that document for them to apply for a conditional use permit. So, hopefully, going forward, we don't get bubble gum on our shoes. Any other question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
K, AmeriCorps Host Agency Agreement benefiting EMA.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Was that you, Jordan?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
For the last several years, the court has participated in this AmeriCorps program for EMA. The program has proven beneficial for the department. It gives them an employee at a cost of $5,750. This is an agreement for the program year extending from September 1st, 2021 to August 31st, 2022. This is a budgeted item, and I would recommend approval.
Question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
L, award the following bids. 8, 2021 Horse Fork Creek Park Restroom Project. 16, 2021, 10 new or used target throwing machines. 15, 2021, 2 new custom pumpers.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Jordan, you want to do this like we always have, go through each item, make a recommendation, we'll pause. If commissioners have any questions or comments, we'll go on. So move on.
Yes, sir. Starting with bid number 08-2021. This bid is for the construction of a restroom facility at Horse Fork Creek Park near the Spay Park facility for Daviess County Parks and Recreation. We received 3 bids ranging from $152,239 to $156,400, and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Lanham Brothers in the amount of $152,239. These bids were within our expected range of cost. This is a budgeted project. There were no exceptions, and I would recommend approval.
Jordan, it's the building, the utilities. By utilities, I mean gas to it, sewer to it, water line to it.
Everything.
This is the complete, there's not another penny that they're going to come back and ask us for.
Correct.
If that's the case and that happens, you are a genius. We're going to make you do all of these instead of the engineer. It's been a long time coming. We've talked about it, commissioners, and I think all of the folks and all of you have been by there and seen the tremendous amount of use that we're getting out of it again this year. The Playground for All has made it even nicer. The shade structures that we put out there, it is a premier place to be in an urban, suburban county setting. I mean, we probably got more people around that park than any other park. We have just a couple things left to do, but I'm sure that all the people who use that park will be happy to get rid of those porta potties. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to comment. I was out there Saturday watching one of my grandkids play soccer, and I've never seen so many people in one spot. I mean, there were all the way around every one of those fields were chairs, and the Spay Park was full, and I mean, it was phenomenal. And the parking lot was full. I wished I'd checked to see where their license plates, where they were from, but I didn't do that. But I mean, it was really a lot of activity going on. It was really great to see.
It is. That's one of the things that brings smiles to your faces when you can do something that everybody is enjoying using. What's left to do, or will be left to do out there, we need to pave some of the parking, particularly for ADA folks, and then we're still talking about what are we going to do in that little copse of trees across the road with picnic tables and all that. But it substantially will be complete. And that's a 3-year project. George?
Yeah.
3-year project. My question to you, so let's see if you can answer this trivia question. What was the most favorite part of that spray park for those kids?
The bucket.
The bucket. I've never seen kids stand.
And it's funny because they'll all be playing and all of a sudden they realize, oh, and they all run over there and stand under the bucket.
Yeah, it's.
And then it dumps and then they go back to
They
playing
go
all
back
over
to
the
do
place.
another thing. It's pretty cool. All right, next one, Jordan.
Bid 16, 2021, this bid is for the provision of 10 new or used target throwing machines for the Davis County Gun Club. We received 3 bids ranging from $19,862.40 to $25,575, and recommend award to the best evaluated bid submitted by Midwest Clay Sports in the amount of $23,527.40. The 2 bids lower than the recommendation had exceptions outside of what we deemed acceptable. This was a budgeted item. There were no exceptions, and I would recommend approval.
These are the machines, everything we're buying here is new. The lowest bid was used electronic controllers. And if there's anything worse than used electronics, I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is, but I'm not gonna tell you. And I think it's a wise decision. I think the exception on the next bid up, when they had everything new, Jordan, was it didn't meet the spec on springs, I think.
The release systems weren't
Yeah.
off-brand.
Yeah, oh, they were all, that's correct. What we wanted was the same release system across the entire spectrum, and this would have been mix and match. So, but it is with it, we had 30,000?
Yes.
Yeah, $30,000 budgeted, so I'm pretty pleased with it. Just as a side note, the gun club is doing well again and is on pace to pay back even more this year. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by, oops, I'm sorry. Next item, Jordan.
Bid number 15, 2021. This bid is for the provision of 2 new custom pumpers for the Davis County Fire Department. We received 4 bids ranging from $1,018,239.82 to $1,177,516. Recommend the best evaluated bid submitted by Johnson's EVS in the amount of $1,055,532 for the 2 2022 Spartan ERV Metro Star units. Per replacement schedule, we did have 1 unit in the budget this fiscal year, with plans on budgeting the 2nd unit in the next fiscal year. But given the lead time to build these units, which is typically 1 year, Chief Smith requested bidding both now so we could take delivery in fiscal year 22-23 rather than likely receiving the 2nd in 23-24. The low bid had exceptions outside of what we deemed acceptable. The recommendation has no exceptions, and I would recommend approval.
Question or comment? I think Commissioner Wathen, you had a comment about the disparity in cost, which is huge considering that we were paying $260,000 for volunteer fire trucks. But I think Chief Smith, would you kind of go through why these are so much more expensive?
Yes, sir. What the volunteer station buys is typically a manufactured cab, typical brand. These are actually custom pumpers, custom built for maneuverability. The amount of equipment that they have on them, for all of their medical equipment to respond, the ability to hold 4 to 5 firemen, the size of this unit is what drives the cost.
Okay. And there are more safety features as well. I think you were talking, or anti-tipping, all kinds of different things. It's a much heavier duty and more commercialized vehicle.
Hundreds of pages of specifications.
Okay. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jordan. Next item.
M, hire Anna Williams as part-time animal control attendant effective upon successful completion of pre-employment screening.
Motion approved.
Second.
This is, Commissioners, thank you. This is a replacement for one of the animal control attendants, not an addition. Any question or comment? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Anna, welcome to the Fiscal Court.
N, accept retirement resignation of Carla Riney, Public Works Administrative Assistant, effective July 31st, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, Carla was here when all of us started. I thought she was going to be here when all of us left, but apparently not. I want to thank Carla. She always did her job with a smile on her face. I don't think I ever walked in that when I walked by that door and said hi, she didn't smile. And, you know, that's what you like in an employee, particularly one who is forward-facing to the public. So, Carla, I just send our congratulations and hope you enjoy your retirement. Any other comment? Yes,
I was
sir.
just gonna say, I told Carl I was gonna vote no, but I've changed my mind.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I bet
vote-
she convinced you like one of these,
I'm gonna vote,
right?
I'm gonna vote yes.
All right. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Congratulations, Carla.
3, consideration for discussion, A, other business to be brought before the court. I'm not aware of any.
Okay, next item.
B, public comments.
This is time in our meeting during which we would ask the public to approach the podium to identify themselves, and they would be welcome to speak on anything other than what was on the agenda. We also always ask, do we have anything on our Facebook page? No questions? Okay, next item.
C, comments by Daviess Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Caslen,
Pass.
Commissioner Wathen.
I wanted to just mention the fact that we're having at the Davis County Lions Club Fairgrounds, we're having the tire disposal event where people can bring all their tires and they'll take them. It was today, and then Friday, it will be from 7 to 4, and Saturday from 7 a.m. till noon. And it's at I'm going to say it again, the Davis County Lions Club Fairgrounds out on Highway 54. And people can bring any kind of tire they have. I think the notice said anything from bicycle tires to big truck tires, and you can even bring them on the wheel.
On the rim.
So anyway, that's a nice event, and we appreciate Davis County Lions Club helping us out.
Yes, sir.
And then I have one more thing I
Okay.
want to go over.
Sure.
I've been asked quite a few times about the now becoming famous outer loop proposal. So I thought it was important that I talked about it a little bit. I know it's there's nothing specific that's been proposed, but I'm going to say that if it's the bypass style outer loop, I'm totally against it. I don't think we need it. I believe it'd be an overkill. It's a $400 million project, the way I understand it, or maybe $500 million. That's what I've been told. I've not seen any factual evidence that shows that it would be a big benefit to this community. I believe there's more potential negative than there is potential positive results. First off, our current bypass, I don't think is maxed out. First step should be to make that 6 lanes, or perhaps even lower the speed limit to 55 miles an hour, back to where it was. I think that would help with the safety. I think it has a potential to mess with our drainage and increase our drainage problems, especially in the southern and the west part of the county. And I know it's just a line drawn on the county map, but it has the potential to devastate some of the farmers if it came through their property. You know, sometimes you divide your property and you have to drive 5 miles to get to the other side. And anyway, so I think that has that potential. But my biggest concern is that the potential to weaken our agricultural community through urban sprawl. I think if you build this big road out there and houses are going to follow it. And I'd rather see the state look for opportunities to improve our current infrastructure and not just what I consider would be to disrupt the whole county. I think the agricultural community is a big part of our county. I think it's important that we stay that way. The current balance of the city life and agricultural life really gives Daviess County our personality. That mix is a healthy balance. It's what makes us who we are, and I would just hate to see that changed. So I just want to make sure that all those people that have asked me, there's my answer. So thank you.
Commissioner Koger.
Pass.
Oh. Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Castle and I met with some folks regarding the outer loop. There's a heck of a lot of misinformation, misconception that's going on out there. Misinformation, mainly it's being put out on Facebook. I've heard everything from the state already has contracts out for land. Don't see how they can do that when there is no outer loop route. Mitch McConnell's already guaranteed 90% of the funding. Well, if it was that easy, we'd already had money for 54 completion instead of begging for that money. I think it's important that one of the things that we do, and I think it'll become clear the more when this study is done, the feasibility study is done, KYTC brings all the information, all the data before us, and we get a chance to look at it. I think things will become more clear, and I think it will clear up a lot of the misconception that's going on. So I would urge folks to, you know, I had a good friend out in Sargo who has a farm out there, concerned, I mean, really concerned, and I had a conversation with her and tried to allay her fears that, you know, it's a study, that's all it is. I think the state, KYTC and probably GRAD did a poor job in rolling this thing out. I do know that people were under the impression that that one Zoom meeting was all there was going to be for them to comment on. In the meeting that I had with these four folks, and Jordan, I want you to be listening to this, I promised them that we would put a place or a link on our Facebook where people could go there and get factual information. We'll try to notify them when there are any meetings, public meetings that are going to go on. And in the end, I was very encouraged by one of the gentlemen that was in the meeting when he said, well, perhaps we ought to look at, kind of, Commissioner, like you said, perhaps we should look at it in terms of what do we need and what can we do as opposed to an entire loop.
And where can we find?
And where can we find common ground? And I think that's what I would suggest everybody kind of look at. I wouldn't get upset about it. Now, if I thought it was going to come through my house, I'd be upset. So I don't discount the emotion that is there, but I would just urge folks to let's see where this goes. I do know that the last communication I had regarding the MPO/TAC committee was the July meeting is canceled. Probably the August meeting will be, because the next meeting would be to discuss anything the state brought back. And they're nowhere near doing that. So it's on everybody's lips. I mean, they're all talking about it. I was at a meeting the other night, and one of the things that was brought out, and they keep talking about that money, and I'm assuming that money that they're talking about is the ARPA money, the American Rescue Plan Act, and the money that is coming to the city and the county. Let me assure the public that once we have final guidance from the Treasury, and who knows when that will be, that we will try to have a couple of public meetings where we can talk to people directly, answer their questions as to how the money can be used, what thoughts we might have, what thoughts the public might have. I mean, I've always hollered at when we get together our plan of action from the chamber and EDC and city and county, the little cards that we give out, that we need to have a segment for the public to come in and talk. And it seems like the public never comes in, but that's okay. At least we've given the public a chance. So the ARPA money it's going to be a while. I would say probably December, sometimes then. We might get final guidance before then. Commissioner, I was out at the tire thing today, and it's all ready. I mean, if you got tires, don't wait till Saturday. You better get them out there. They're accumulating quickly. Be careful on Highway 54. A lot of traffic on 54, and a lot of people stopping, doing a left turn in and a right turn out of the fairgrounds. And I agree with you. Again, I thanked them last time, but I want to thank the Daviess County Lions Club Fair Committee, particularly Joan Hayden, for allowing us to use it. I'm not sure that I've got anything else to talk about. If I forget or forgot, I'm sorry, but without exception, everybody have the rest of the summer between, did one thing. Folks, while we had a COVID downturn in this community, there is a new variant out there, and we have had an uptick. We have some red counties. That means they're having 25 cases per 100,000 population. Many of the green counties are now yellow, and many of the yellow counties have turned orange. Most of it's because of the 4th of July holiday, where people got together in big groups, people who were unvaccinated. Most of the cases are occurring in those who are 18 to 40 years. Most of the cases are unvaccinated folks. Be careful. If you choose not to get vaccinated, then you need to be careful when you're around large crowds and non-family groups. We certainly don't want to see that uptick where we go from yellow, and at one time we were at 1.8 cases per day per 100,000 people. That was our average. And now we're up to 7.8, I think, 7.6. So we've jumped quite a bit. We want to get it back down. The good news is that those people who are most affected were folks 60 and older, and we've got about 82% of those folks vaccinated, so we're seeing fewer cases. We just want you to have a really nice and safe summer. It seems like that once you go past the 4th of July, commissioners, the summer's gone in 2 weeks. It's just gone. Just to eat your heart out, by the way, I'm getting squash, tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers out of my garden. If there's no other business, yes.
Just like to make comment on the
Yep.
delivering of the tires out at the fairgrounds. Go to the second entrance by the grain bins.
Right.
If you go in the first, you have to turn around, and that's going to could possibly create a wreck. So
Okay. Good, thank you, Commissioner, because there are people who are trying now. If there is no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court without exception, we're adjourned.